Hello, my name is Jaden Mangum, and for this assignment, I interviewed Evan Dundon. He's a team lead at Michigan State University Green Line. So, getting into a quick overview, Evan works for one of the largest student-run fundraising organizations in the Big Ten. In his role, he leads and mentors a team of 8 student callers. Some of his main responsibilities, include running some feedback sessions, making sure the call quality stays consistent, and helping his team improve while still allowing them to be able to develop into their own communication styles. Uh, One thing that definitely stood out to me is that his role is definitely people focused. He's not just managing tasks, he's really focused on developing the individuals. And he spends a lot of time doing one-on-one check-ins and group meetings in different ways to help build team morale and just be able to help grow and not point out their mistakes. One of the biggest things that I learned from this interview is that leadership is definitely not about controlling people, it's about helping adapt to them. Evan talked a lot about how he doesn't force his communication style onto his team. Instead, he lets each person find out what works best for them. Um, some team members may need more guidance and structure, while others prefer more independent working styles. Instead of treating everyone the same, uh, he approaches differently depending upon the person. So, for me, this is definitely important as an athlete because within the locker room, a lot of people are coached a lot of different ways and they respond a lot of different ways to the way you talk to them. Some guys need more hands-on approach while, some guys don't need as much. And, that's definitely a big thing. Um, and that was definitely a good, interesting point that he talked about. So another thing that really stood out to me was how Evan approached his feedback. He made it clear that when he gives feedback, he always starts with something positive before telling them what actually needs improvement. So, he's not just correcting the mistakes, he's helping the people understand how they can get better. And, this creates more supportive environments, where people are open to feedback instead of feeling like they're going to get attacked. This definitely ties into the respect-based communication we've been going over in class because it shows that you value the person and, not just their performance. And this is definitely something I want to carry into my own leadership style. So the third thing that was definitely major for me was how important listening is in leadership. Evan emphasized that if he's not listening, then he can't really understand what's going wrong. He uses one-on-one meetings as a clear way to hear his team out and not just give instructions. This creates a space where they feel comfortable and they can be honest with him, which helps prevent miscommunication and this helps build even stronger relationships with the individual. This definitely connects about how we've been talking about two-way communication. And, it's not just about giving directions. You actually have to have a conversation and sit down and talk with the person. You know, um, I would definitely describe Evan's leadership style. He's definitely supportive, adaptable. He's definitely relationship focused. I feel like he focuses on building the trust first, and then the performance follows. Um, it's not about being perfect. It's about getting better over time. And I feel like he addresses issues quickly and directly, but definitely in a respectful way. So one piece of advice that he gave me that really stuck with me is being patient and willing to adapt. Not everyone is going to respond the same way. So, as a leader, you have to be able to adjust and help in any way you can. So I definitely feel like I can apply this to my career and how I'm being a teammate, whether I end up staying in sports or business, or working in some communication roles. I know I'll be able to work with different types of people and being able to communicate effectively with all of them is definitely going to be able to help me. I think applying these ideas are definitely going to make me a more effective leader. And I just won't be able to focus on outcomes. I'll actually focus on people and help build those relationships with those people. So overall, this definitely helped me realize um, that leadership isn't really about authority. It's about really connecting with the person and really getting to know them so you can actually help them. You have to be flexible. You have to give constructive feedback, and you have to actually have to listen. That definitely is what makes you an effective leader. So I definitely plan to take these forward um, into my own leadership roles so I can help build stronger teams and then be able to communicate with them effectively. Um, that's it. Thank you.